Hello everyone, welcome. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. So this is a dynamic yoga class, 60 minutes. And this practice will be a very gentle, flowy practice. We'll be focusing in on how to take our worries, our concerns, our masks we put on every day or multiple times a day and place them away from the mat for these 60 minutes. Why I say masks, if you're wondering what that is we wear different masks for different roles that we play. So we might have a role as a mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, and grandparent. And then we have the role of, for some people it's working. So you have the role of being whatever your job, your work role is. And for friends, we play a role in that. Maybe we're the funny one. Maybe we're the one that people really, you're the talker in the relationship. So you have to put on the, okay, I'm not in the mood to talk today, but they expect it of me. So what we're going to do for these 60 minutes is really kind of take everything off and let those masks, remove the masks, remove the need to have to be anything but yourself, the true self that you are. So that's a nice place to start. We're going to go into a breathing meditation in a moment, but we're going to actually start with movement. Some stretching, some Sufi rolls and Sufi circles and things like that. And then we'll move on to a flow and then some twists and some back bends. Okay, lots of little things. You can sit on your cushion, but if you're going to stay on your cushion for the next few stretches, make sure you're comfortable. So if you're on I happen to be on a blanket, so I just lowered my blanket down, or you come off of it. So let's start with your left foot crossed in front of your right. And then we'll switch in a moment, but keep that there. And then let's take our hands on our knees and let's start with the Sufi circles. Inhaling to the, let's work to the circle. Let's do a counterclockwise, so to the right. Circle around, letting the chest lead the way. And just breathe here. No worries about where your inhale is, where your exhale is. Just let your breath move with the movement. And you can go deeper into it as you warm up your spine. Let the eyes close if you're comfortable doing so. We'll be doing a few of these. So just let yourself enjoy this moment as you twist away, it's like a corkscrew, away the thoughts and concerns. Even if you don't have any real concerns, but it's this moment that's yours. One more circle to the right. And then lift up nice and tall, and you can open up your eyes now and bring your hands above your head, grabbing hold of your elbows, opposite elbow or opposite forearm, wrists, and lift up as high as you can, as if you want to almost pull your arm bones out of their sockets. So the shoulders out of the sockets, shoulders up towards your ears, and keep pulling up one arm at a time as if you're walking up a ladder. So there's a little bit of a wiggle here. And then you're going to get to the top and you're going to take a deep breath in and you're going to reach your arms up to the sky and grabbing hold of your left wrist with that right hand and breathe in, and as you exhale, stretch over to the right. So use your inhalation to lengthen. And take a pause here as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, release your right hand out to the side in line with your right hip. Spin your left palm, the top palm, so it's facing backwards. The pinky finger is pointing towards the ground. And breathing in, both sit bones are pressing down. And as you exhale, go deeper into this stretch. So take a few breaths here, holding our stretches. Breathing into the areas that you're actually feeling some soreness, tightness. And then take a breath in. Rather than coming straight up, I want you to walk your hands around on the ground from the right side until the hands are directly in front of you. And just wiggle around a little bit with your hips and your pelvis until you're settled. Come onto those fingertips. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower down, go walk the hands a little further forward. And we'll do this a few more times, a little bit like a cat and cow. Inhaling, lifting up, spreading those collarbones, and exhaling, rounding down, dropping your chin towards your chest. One more set. Inhale, lifting up, opening up that heart into that cow shape, and then exhale, lower down. And then walk your hands further forward and let yourself settle here for 3 breaths, deep breaths. Chin to chest, no tension in the neck, so let your head hang. And breathe into the back of the body. Letting every exhalation, you're letting out anything that's you're carrying, any burdens you're carrying with you. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, slide your hands towards your shins. Let your head be the very last to come up once your hands touch your knees. Come up nice and tall. Grow like a tree, like a plant. And then just switch the cross of your legs. The right shin in front of your left. It's a nice break from one way of crossing. Right, then the hands back on the knees. Sufi circles to the left. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, that circle around. Taking your time here, going as fast or slow as you wish. Let the head follow the movement. Breathing in and breathing out. Just continue on. Eyes closed if that feels nice for you. Just keep another few circles, another 2 circles. And then the next exhalation, let's come up nice and tall. Lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the crown of the head, drop the shoulders down. And then reach your arms up to the sky and take the opposite hand to the opposite elbow or forearm or wrist. Same thing on this side. Take a breath in, lift up as if you're trying to climb up that ladder. One elbow lifts, the other elbow lifts. Keep walking up as high as you can, feeling the side body stretch. Shoulders towards your ears. Let your shoulders get as close to your ears as possible. Then take a breath in. And then as you exhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Take your left hand, wrap it around your right wrist, and stretch to the left side. Just gently tug on that right wrist. And then take an inhale and exhale, lower your left hand down out to the left side. Just adjust your hand till it's in the correct spot. And breathe in, and as you breathe out, bend over to the left side. Turning that right pinky downward so the palm is facing backwards. That opens up the shoulders. And take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And then inhale, and as you exhale, lower that right hand to the ground, to the outside of that left leg, and walk your fingers around until they reach the front of the mat. Take your time here. And once you're there, come onto the fingertips, lift up halfway, so you're coming up into that cow shape. And then exhale, fold down. Do 2 more sets. Inhale, lift up. Opening up the front of your chest, and then exhale, lower yourself down. And one more time, inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale, lower yourself down. And take a moment here, walking your hands a little further forward, settling down into your forward bend. Dropping your head. Maybe Shaking your head no for a moment. Just let all, and yes. Take another deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Chin remains tucked until the very last moment as you roll up one vertebra at a time. And just take a pause here, sitting here in our meditation. Hands either resting palms down or spin the palms up with the thumb and index finger touching. If you want to try something slightly different, it's a little bit more, when your palms are open, you're receiving energy, while turning them down, it's more of a relaxation. You're kind of giving, asking, you're not receiving as much. So it might feel nicer to turn them down if you need to relax a little bit. And just let the breath flow in and out, feeling the breath. As you breathe in and you breathe out. See how deep you can get that breath. We've been practicing the 5 count. Try the 5 count on your own. See if it's easier now that we've stretched. The next time, inhale. And then as you exhale, gently open your eyes and we'll come onto our hands and knees. And once on your hands and knees, press back into a child's pose. Let the knees open wide, big toes touching, if that feels nice for you, or the knees closer in. Let the elbows settle on the ground, forearms, just spreading the fingers, connecting your fingers to the earth, forehead to the earth. Noticing when you do touch your forehead to something, you immediately, your body does relax because it turns on the relaxation response. So with diaphragmatic breathing and with the forehead resting, your body is in heaven. Let's take an inhale, come up onto all fours. Walk your knees in so they're underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders, and just curl your toes under. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So bring your bottom to your heels, stretch out those toes. Walk your hands a little further forward and press into those hands, press into the heel of the hand. Try and get all toes involved. Even the baby toe, which tries to kind of get away with it. And breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, inhaling. And exhaling. And then take an inhale, come up into all fours. And then exhaling into your downward facing dog. Taking a pause here for just a moment as you adjust your hands, you adjust your feet. Your feet can be any distance, hip distance, maybe closer, maybe wider. And bend your right knee generously. So make that until your tummy is resting on the thigh. And this helps to press that left heel down a little bit more. And if possible, see if you can lift your left toes up a little bit. They might not come up very far. Then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, switch. So your left knee. So bend it a little bit more than you normally would. Very deep bend so that you can get your right heel down a little bit. And then pick your 5 toes up on the other foot, the right foot. And then take an inhale and exhale back and forth, swaying your hips from side to side. Faster, a little faster. Pedaling those feet. Breathing in and breathing out. So our downward dogs are a transitional pose. It's a pose to kind of reconnect. And then let's straighten the legs, press the heels towards the ground. Just hold this for a few breaths.
So moving away from the fidgeting into stillness, exploring stillness as you take your tailbone, lift it a little bit higher. Draw your belly a little closer to your thighs. Hollow out that belly. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, walk your feet to the front of the mat. Take your time here. So you might have multiple steps to get there. And then once you're at the front of the mat, open the feet so they're pretty wide, wider than hip distance. And bend the knees so that your belly can rest on the thighs or get at least close to the thighs. Let the arms, dangle the arms down, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Shake your head, yes. Several times, yes, 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 yes. And then no, 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 no. And a few little sways from side to side. Include the torso, not just the arms, but the torso. And just feel that wonderful, relaxing sway. So very slow, comfortable class. And then releasing the hands to the ground. Let's inhale halfway. And then exhale, forward fold. And then bending the knees, breathing in and exhaling, rolling up. One vertebra at a time. Ragdoll roll. Arms dangling. Letting all the stress and worries just roll off your body. And once you've lifted up nice and tall, bring your feet in so they're hip distance apart. And just bring your hands in front of your heart and take a moment here, connecting with your heart center. Ujjayi breath if you haven't already started breathing. So creating that ocean-like sound, that sound as you open up the glottis. And then take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Take your right hand wrapped around your left wrist, so the thumb and index finger, breathing in, and as you breathe out, stretch to the right. And then inhale, lift back up and take your left hand, wrap it around your right wrist and stretch to the left. And then inhale, lift back up nice and tall and sweep your arms behind your back. Interlace them. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, puff your chest forward, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, fold forward with your hands reaching up towards the sky. Then release the hands to the ground. Inhaling halfway, the fingertips on the ground or on the shins. Exhaling, forward fold. One more time, inhaling halfway. And then step your left foot back, lower your left knee down as we go through our sun salutation. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Take a pause here, spin the palms so they're facing backwards, thumb, pinkies towards one another, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, lower the hands to the ground, step back into your plank. So once in your plank, knees down or up, do a little bit of a kind of a wiggle from side to side until you get your bearings, you feel comfortable here. And then lower your knees down. We're going to do knees, chest, chin. Lower your chest down and chin. Squeeze your elbows into your sides and then slither forward into your cobra. And if you need to slide the hands a little further forward, then do so. And squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Take a breath in and lift. As you exhale, lift the chest up into your cobra. We're going to do 2 more sets. Exhale, lower down. Of cobras. Inhale, lift back up. That's what I meant. Sorry about that. Exhale, lower down. This time, inhale, lift up and hold the lift. Hold the cobra. Squeezing elbows in towards your sides, spreading those collarbones, puffing that chest forward. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, lower down, all the way down to the ground. Slide your hands next to your chest, curl the toes under, exhaling, downward facing dog. Taking a breath in. And just let yourself be here in stillness for just a moment and exhale. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, step your left foot between your hands. Lower that right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky with just one breath here. Exhale, lowering the hands to the ground. Step your right foot forward next to your left foot, forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold, and inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Stretching through those arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Take one deep breath here with your hands in front of your heart. Inhaling and exhaling. Reach your arms up to the sky, grabbing hold of that right wrist with your left hand, stretching to the left as you exhale. Then inhale, lift back up, grabbing hold of the wrist with your left wrist with the right hand. Stretch first with the inhalation, and exhale, stretch over to the right, bend to the right. So you kind of got what we're doing. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, separate them, sweep the arms back behind you. Unfamiliar clasps, one finger down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, puff your chest forward, breathing in, and as you breathe out, forward bend. Leading with your chest, lifting your arms off the back. Take an inhale, and then exhale, release the hands to the ground. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. This time, exhale, step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, lower the hands to the ground, step back into your plank as you exhale. Knees down or up. Actually, knees down, chest down, chin down. Bottom sticks up. Squeeze elbows in towards each other and then slither forward. Just one cobra. Inhaling, lifting up, cobra. And then exhale, lower down. And then curl the toes under, breathing in. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. 2 breaths here in your downward dog. Any point you need a child's pose, feel free to take it. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, step your left foot between your hands, lower that right knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, lower the hands down, step your right foot forward next to your left foot. Inhaling halfway. And then exhale, forward fold, and let's inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a pause here. Hands in front of the heart. 1 full breath, breathing into those hands. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time, interlace, bring the palms together. Interlace them except for your index fingers. Your index fingers pointing up to the sky, breathing in, and as you breathe out, bend over to the right. Then inhale, lift up nice and tall, and then exhale to the left. And then inhale nice and tall, and then sweep your arms behind your back. Interlace the hands again, this time the familiar interlace. Squeeze the shoulder blades, breathe in, and as you breathe out, lean forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then release the hands to the ground. And just take a pause here for a moment. Just shake your head no, and shake your head yes. Loosen up that neck. Let's lift up halfway. Inhale halfway. Let's exhale, step your left foot back. This time, knee stays off the ground in the lunge. Pressing down with both feet, breathing in, and then as you exhale, lift your arms up to the sky. You can bend your back leg a little bit if you'd like. Reach the arms back, crescent shape, crescent lunge. Inhaling, and then exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back into your plank. Take an inhale. You can do chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Choose what you wish, and then inhaling into your upward dog or your cobra. Breathing in and breathing out. Take an inhale and exhale. Lower yourself down. Slide your hands next to your chest, curl the toes under, press the ground away. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, step your left foot between your hands. Keep your right knee off the ground. Inhaling and lift your arms up into your high lunge. Reach your arms up, and then exhale, lean, bring the arms back. Chest opens, spreads, and then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lower the hands to the ground. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. And this time I want you to roll up one vertebra at a time. Let the arms dangle. And once you're at the top, let the head reach towards the sky and arms resting next to your sides with the palms spinning forward. And take a pause here. Just let the shoulders settle down. Bring your head back over your pelvis. And take a few breaths here, feeling in. So there's probably by now you've forgot everything that you might have been concerned about because we've been so present. Let's bring our hands in front of our heart, and we're going to go into a pigeon, standing pigeon balance. So bend your left knee and place your right ankle on your left thigh. And so I'll spin around so you can actually see what I'm doing. And take a breath in, and as you breathe out, sit down on an imaginary chair. And hands are in front of your heart. And just pause here, looking down towards the ground. I know some people can actually touch the ground. That's perfectly fine. I will stay here with my hands in front of my heart. And just breathe in. And as you breathe out, let's lift up. Whoops. And take that right leg off. And reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Bending your right knee, now placing your left ankle on your right thigh, flexing that right foot. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly lower yourself down. If you need a wall to help you or a chair, that's fine. But otherwise, stay here and breathe. In and out. Stretching out those hip joints. And then take an inhale and exhale, lift up, place your left foot back on the ground, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's inhale halfway, let's step back into our downward facing dog. And then lower the knees to the ground, just taking a pause in your child's pose with keeping the arms off the ground, letting yourself we still have things ahead of us. So keep the arms active. Keep the breath moving. So we'll do some twists, which are a wonderful way of twisting out tension. Let's take an inhale, come into your tabletop. Let's exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands a little closer in until the heels are touching the ground. Open the feet almost as wide as the mat, maybe not as wide. And bring the hands out. Make sure the hands are comfortably far enough away that you feel pretty stable here. Take your right hand off the ground and thread it underneath your left arm, grabbing hold of the outer edge of that left leg, either the calf or the ankle. Breathing in first to lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, twisting, looking under your left arm. Pressing in, and if you need a little extra, this is just way too tight for your legs are really tight, you could bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. Look a little bit further underneath. Maybe both knees have to be bent. And then take an inhale and exhale that right hand back next to your left. Walk your hands towards your feet for just a moment. Let yourself dangle here, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Generously bending the knees, giving the back of the legs a reprieve. And then let's walk your hands forward again, about to where they were before. Pressing to the hands, pressing to the feet. Take a breath in, and the right hand stays, and the left hand, bring that, thread it underneath your right arm and grab hold of that outer edge of that right ankle or the calf. First inhale, lengthen, then exhale, twist. So we're twisting. You're going to feel the twist all the way up the back. And then if you need a little extra, if you feel like you need to bend your left knee, bend your left knee. You explore your body's needs. And every time you exhale, it's as if you're getting rid of a little bit more tension, a little bit more stress. And then place the hands, the left hand back next to the right hand. Walk your hands forward. And let's exhale into your downward facing dog. Stretch through those arms, taking an inhale and an exhale. And then let's inhale into your plank. And then exhale into your chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Lowering yourself down to the ground. Take your arms next to your legs, next to your sides. Squeeze the legs together. Take a breath in and lift your head and chest off the ground and legs off the ground. Arms reach, fingers reach back towards your feet. You're in your locust. And then lower yourself down. Slide your hands forward until you're in a sphinx with your forearms on the ground. And just settle here for a moment. And then we're going to bend the left leg. So you're going to bring that left heel in towards your left bottom cheek. Swivel that right hand a little to the left as a support for that right side. Swing your left leg, the left hand back towards your left leg. Grab hold of the inner foot, the top of the foot. If you can't even get to the foot, then just hold it back. Or you can use a strap and bring that heel in towards your left bottom cheek. Press into that right forearm and let yourself twist in this version. So you're looking towards your left shoulder. And breathe in and out. Notice how your breathing does change when you're doing these twists. Come onto your belly, back onto your forearms. Let's just pause here for a moment in and just let your push into the forearms and just drop your head, look back. And just all I want you to do is keep your pubic bone on the ground, but lift the belly off the ground. So pubic bone's on the ground, thighs are on the ground, knees are on the ground. This is just more of a stretch than anything. And then inhale back into your sphinx, lower the belly to the ground, the lower rib cage, and lift your chest forward. Looking towards your thumbs, opening up that chest. Then bend your right leg and bring your left arm a little bit in towards you, not quite parallel to the front of the mat. And swing your right arm back behind you, grabbing hold of the inner foot, the top of the foot, or strap might be helpful. And draw that right heel in towards that right bottom cheek. Inhale first, lengthen, and then you think, how do I lengthen in a twist? But really try and get your spine as long as possible, and then twist with the exhalation. Any tweakiness in the back, just come out of twists. You'll know when it's just too much. And then lower that right foot down. So that was a quad stretch as well, so the tops of your thighs. And then press up into your tabletop. And then exhale into your child's pose. Make a little pillow with your arms, forehead on the pillow, and take a pause here. Take an inhale. Whew, and exhale. Notice your breathing. What has happened? Has it become a little bit faster, less smooth? And then we smooth it out. And let's inhale, come back, come up. Walk your hands towards your knees.
And we're going to do a few camels. So this is a stimulating, this is a back bend, and it stimulates the nervous system, which you think, well, is that a good idea? Yes, because we will then reverse it. We will counter it with more relaxing postures. So you leave feeling better than even, you want to even out the two, the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. The option is, which I didn't mention earlier, is you can have blocks. If you own blocks, you can place them actually next to your feet, which I happen to like, because it makes it a little bit less intense. You don't have to touch your heels. So take your hands, we're nothing with the blocks at this moment, just one set with the hands on our hips. Take the hands on your hips and thumbs, press your tailbone down. And as you do this, squeeze the elbows in towards each other, puff your chest forward, and keep pressing your hips forward. So we're warmed up to be able to do this. Lift your chest up, hips forward, and start to lean back. And you're going to go only so far without crunching your middle back. Your middle back is doing very little here. And then inhale, lift back up, and just sit down on your heels. Take a pause. Feel in for a moment. How does that feel? You notice how the heart, things change around the heart, right? You start to feel the heart race a little bit. Come back up. Now we're going to do two more, but you might say only one is enough or two is enough. If you do, come into a child's pose after you're finished. This one, you can either curl the toes under or keep the feet flat on the ground. Use blocks or bring your hands to your heels, or keep your hands on your hips. Take a breath in. First, prepare. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows in towards each other. Chest lifts towards the ceiling. Push the hips forward, tailbone lengthen, and lean back. And then your hands can release from the hips, and maybe the hands touch your heels. I love the blocks now. And then lift your hips. This might be my new thing. Lift your chest up, hips forward. Especially if your back isn't that flexible, which mine is not. Lift back up nice and tall, and then sit down. So if you take a pause here, you can decide that was enough, and then you go in a moment, you go into a child's pose, but not yet. Just give yourself a spine a chance to reconfigure itself. Realign. And then let's lift back up one more time. Take your hands on those hips again. Tuck the tailbone under. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Take a deep breath in. Lift your heart up to the sky. Press your hips forward and gently start to lean back. Just keep going. And then there'll be a point where you say, okay, I can maybe touch the blocks or my heels. And once your feet or your hands are on something, lift your chest a little bit higher, hips a little further forward, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, let's lift back up. So come down and sit down for a moment before you go into a child's pose. Just take a moment here. I want you to just pause and feel into your body. What just happened? What sensations are there for you? And then let the breath smooth again, smooth the breath, and then come into a child's pose. And you can do an embryo if you'd like go into an embryo where the legs are together and arms draped next to your feet or next to your legs, or in front, forehead resting on something. And let's stay here for just a few breaths, calming the nervous system down. And then let's slowly lift ourselves back up and come onto our seat, and we'll do a twist. And you can do, your twist can be I think we'll do a bind. Let's do a binding twist because I do like this and I like to do this often. So left leg stays straight. Bring your right foot leg in towards you. So heel is close to your right bottom cheek. And then just to open the foot a little bit out to the right. So take a breath in, come up nice and tall, and then bring your right arm inside your right leg. So option number one, right hand reaches forward as if you're going to shake someone's hand. And you can place the fingers on the ground or maybe on the left shin. I think on the ground's better, either one. And then take your left hand behind your left hip. So it's on a little diagonal. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, twisting. So the other option is you reach your right arm forward, spin the palm to the right, and wrap that arm around your right leg. Take your left arm, wrap it around your back, palm facing backwards, and see if you can join the hands together. If you can't, don't force it. And then we're going to lean forward and then gently lift up. Now, if that doesn't feel good for your spine, create a cat shape with your spine instead. Drop your chin towards your chest, stretch out the upper back. If you want to stretch out the middle back, then come up a little higher. So there's two choices depending on how your spine feels after that camel. And take a few breaths in and out. Ooh. And then untwist. Let's take your right leg forward. Let's fold forward. Take a pause here. Let yourself stretch out the backs of those legs. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And just take your head from side to side. Loosen up that neck. No. And then yes. And then there's that maybe where you go in kind of like a diagonal. Maybe. And then lift yourself back up. Nice and tall. And your right leg stays straight. Bring your left leg in. Hug it in. Wrap your arms around that shin. Embrace that leg. And then just open that left foot out to the left a little bit, right leg out to the right, and then bring your left arm inside your left leg. Now the choice is right hand behind your hip. The choice is, you know now, either on the ground or bind. Take your left hand as if you're trying to reach, shake someone's hand, place the fingertips on the ground, take a breath in and squeeze your left knee in towards your left shoulder and then twist. Or if you're going to bind, spin that palm to the outside and swing it around your left leg. And then bring your right arm, swing that right hand behind you, the palm behind you, and then join those hands together. And take a breath in and either stay in that cat shape or with the rounded spine, or inhaling, lifting up, spreading the collarbones. It really depends on what you feel your body needs right now. And let's take a nice few breaths here. This is actually quite nice. So by the time we're finished here, you will feel you'll have no stress left in your body. And then extend your legs again. Let's fold forward. And let's take a few moments to just counter what we just did. Take an inhale. And an exhale. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Nice and tall. And then if your legs are not facing the front of the mat, swing them around so they are. Take your feet flat on the ground. Bring your hands behind your hips, fingertips pointing forward. If that doesn't work for your wrists, just spin the fingers outward. So there's different options here, just different ways of opening up the shoulders. So feet flat on the ground, a few of these sets with the bottom on the ground. So inhaling, spreading that chest, really a nice one after the camel. Then round the spine, chin towards chest. You'll be feeling very open at this point. Inhale, lift and open that chest. And then exhaling, rounding into your cat shape. Now the next option is as you inhale, lift your bottom up. coming into your tabletop or upper plank variation. And you can hold this. Now, if this is too much for you, come down and do the cat and cow, what we just did before. You do that sequence. Otherwise, bring your left foot in towards your right foot. Take your right ankle on your left thigh. So you're in that pigeon shape. Breathing in and lifting as you exhale. Lift both hips up evenly, especially that left bottom cheek, which we'll try to lower down, and then place your right foot down. Let's just lower down for a moment. And then exhale, bend the elbows, rounding the spine, chin to chest. And then inhale, lift back up into your tabletop, if that's where you were. Now take your left ankle, place it on your right thigh. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift up a little higher. Make sure that right bottom cheek doesn't drop. Your left bottom cheek, bring it slightly down, evening out those hip joints. Inhaling, and then exhale, lower that left foot down and lower your bottom down. Keep your knees bent and just let yourself drape over your legs. Your wrists are probably having a conversation with you. So stimulating the nervous system, and then we calm the nervous system down. And then let's walk our feet so they're a little further forward, either straight or bent. Inhale, reach your arms forward, and let's exhale, lower ourselves down. Pulling the tummy muscles in, taking your time as you lower yourself onto your backs. And once on your back, stretch through the entire length of the body. Wake up stretch. And do a few little pedals of the feet so that you could feel the hips, one hip lifting and then the other. And then hug your knees into your chest. And let the knees open wide, big toes are touching. And let's do some circles to the right, massaging that lower back. So just resting the hands on the knees. A little bit like Sufi circles, right? But with the bottom part working. And then let's go in the opposite direction, circle in the opposite. And then let's re-hug your knees into your chest. Let's keep your right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg on the ground. Extend on the ground or place the foot flat. Let's straighten your right leg. Just a gentle stretch of that right hamstring. Seeing if it, not necessarily needing to straighten the leg. If you like using straps, you can use a strap. Otherwise, hands on the leg, on the foot, on the big toe. Take a breath in and take a breath out. And then rebend your right knee. Take your right hand just below the right knee. Push your knee forward until you're at a 90-degree angle with that leg, and open that right leg out to the side with your left hip on your left hip bone. So you're coming into a gentle side stretch or abductor stretch. So the leg is bent rather than straight. Unless you really want to straighten it, then you're free to straighten it. And let's take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring that right leg, cross it over your left leg. Keep the right leg bent. Keep crossing it until you touch down. It's probably the foot, maybe not the knee, maybe you can get that right knee down. And then open the arms out to the sides and gently twist, spinal twist. And if it feels okay for your neck, turn your gaze to the right, close the eyes, and we're going to hold this just for a little bit longer than we typically do. If it hurts in any way, you can bring the leg a little bit lower, the right leg. It doesn't have to be as high. Or come into your traditional spinal twist. And let's inhale, come back, roll onto your back again, hug both knees into your chest.
Forehead, pick your forehead towards your knees. Wrap your arms around the shins or your feet and bring your roll up into a little ball and make yourself as small as possible, as compact as you can. And this feels really good on your whole entire spine. And then lower your head down and keep your left leg into your chest and extend your right leg either straight or flat on the ground. Let's take it, inhale and exhale, straighten your left leg. And just a gentle stretch. You don't have to go crazy here trying to get that leg too far. Just enough that you feel something happening in the back of the leg. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bending that left knee to a 90-degree angle. Just bring your left knee forward a little bit until the knee and the hip are in line. Take your left hand just below the kneecap, right hand on the right hip bone, and open your left leg out to the side. And soften the shoulders. I felt my shoulders getting real tense, as if this is so important. And you can always straighten that left leg if that feels good. Just place your hand behind your kneecap if you... And then rebend your left knee. Take your right hand, place it to the outside of that left knee, and left arm out like a wing, and cross that left leg over. And keep crossing until finally the foot touches. You don't have to necessarily touch the knee down, just the foot. The knee is quite intense, and each side will be different. Both arms out to the sides or right hand on that left knee. And if it feels okay on the neck, turn your gaze to the left. What a way to unburden yourself from your worries, your concerns, for a period of time, just being yourself. You, yourself, and I, right? Bring your knees back up, both knees, give yourself a hug. Little rocks and rolls from side to side. And then any last minute stretches you might need. Otherwise, feel free to prepare your body for Shavasana. And Shavasana can be, you can do Shavasana in different shapes. The traditional one is where the feet are as wide as the mat. Otherwise, you could place the soles of the feet together, knees in Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana with maybe blocks underneath your knees or cushions. You might decide you want legs up the wall, or over a chair or over a couch. Otherwise, however you wish, however your body really, whatever it craves, settle in by making little micro adjustments, wiggling around a little bit, making sure the shoulder blades have slid down, making sure your chin is slightly tucked, as if you have an apple between the chin and chest. Your hands are curling naturally, or maybe you place them on your belly. And eyes closed, and let yourself melt into the mat, bone by bone, skin by skin. Let it all go. And for the next few moments, just be. And I will let you know with the ring of my meditation bowl when we're ready to come out.
just taking a moment here. And just starting to breathe again. Take some deep breaths in. Just gentle breaths. And then wiggle fingers and toes. Bring the movement back into the body, into the surface of your body. And then closing the distance between your legs. Take a deep breath in and extend the arms away from the legs. And then as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side and pause in a fetal shape. Just taking this moment just to be here in this moment. Our little sacred space, our mat. Whenever we enter this mat space, there's nothing on the mat except for you and a few props. And then slowly and gently find your way up into your cross-legged seat. Even if your mat gets rolled up and put away, once you roll it out, it's like a magic carpet. It's your magic mat. You know once you're on it, it's your time, it's your space. It's when everything, there's no phones on it, no, you don't have your computer, your family's not on it, maybe an animal every once in a while, but it's yours. So as I bring my hands in front of my heart, let's take another pause and just check in with your body. How do you feel? Comparing yourself to how you felt when you first sat down. Maybe what you were carrying onto the mat. And now, do you feel like that burden has lifted? Even some of it. It might not have all gone, but it's at least lifted for this period of time. Thank you so much for being with me. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. Namaste. I'll see you soon.